Okay, so welcome. Oh my gosh, I'm actually kind of nervous. I mean, I always hate it when I stop and then have to come back and then have to get used to being on camera again. It's just one of those things. So then, but anyways, what works? Hey guys, it's Ashley Ann and welcome back to another one of my videos. Welcome to the new year. I know it's it's just welcome to a new year. Needless to say, my new year was very chill, very calm, very uneventful, but I quite enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed it too, and that whatever resolutions that you have planned for this year, that you're going to stick to them. And I just pray that y'all's are great this year, okay? I pray for blessings, prosperities, and that the promises that God has in store for y'all's will come to pass. This year, one thing that I'm going to try and do is probably just be a little more consistent with uploads and not make it so haphazard. Moving on to this whole thing to do with expectations that we have for the new year, for the new season that we're in. There's just a little message that I guess that was on my heart that I think we need to talk about, especially when it comes to New Year's and resolutions, things that we need to change, because clearly when you're coming to the end of a year and getting into a new one thing that starts happening is that you start taking time to actually stop and look back and see everything that you did in the previous year. And there are some things that you're going to want to continue with, and there are some things that you're going to want to stop. There are some things that, you know, going to need adjustments and all that. And so what that does is that it builds a platform for expectations. And so one thing I want to tell you guys is that be careful with expectations, because having high expectations and then not being able to meet them can really mess up someone. And so make sure that your goals are really smart, okay? Make sure they're realistic. You are able to measure them. Make sure that they are time specific. You know, things like those. Make sure you've got SMART goals, okay? And so when it comes to expectation, one thing I do want to say is that always make sure that your expectations are more on the lower end rather than the higher end for yourself. And the reason I say this is because when your expectations are lower and you end up doing something that is actually greater than your expectations, your satisfaction level is going to be really, really high. However, the opposite is true, meaning that if your expectation levels are really high, it's going to take a lot for you to actually pass those expectations. And so anytime you fall lower than the expectation that you have set for yourself, it's really going to mess you up. It's going to throw you off. You're going to feel terrible. You're going to feel like you can't do anything. And that's not a place that we want to be, okay? Let's be able to empty ourselves of that pride and just humbly come down with our expectations. Put them before the Lord if you have to. Pray and fast for them during this season. But one thing I will say is that your expectations will directly affect how satisfied you are. And so it's best to make sure your expectations are realistic and more towards the lower end rather than having them extremely high and probably, what's the word? Superficial. Yes, don't have really high superficial expectations. That's all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment box below. I completely forgot my outro. Anyways, like, share, subscribe if you haven't, so that you never miss a video. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.